Hey everybody, it's Hunter here, and I'm here to talk about why it would drive somebody insane to own two different box sets of Back to the Future. No, really, I'm actually here to talk about how these two box sets, my own insanity and all of that, leads to what a good deal or a bad deal is when you're talking about physical media buying stuff. So for this video, basically, I'm going to be only talking about really new physical media. Obviously, getting used physical media at a cheaper price is a great deal a lot of the time. But for new things, stuff that's coming out right now that you can't get anywhere else, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So what constitutes a good deal or a bad deal? Well, really, it's up to you. It's up to you as a collector, the bare minimum product that you would buy at a certain price point. So if you're talking about standard Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, movie, video game, whatever prices, an individual collector can spend their money how they please on these things, but it's up to them to decide what a good deal or a bad deal is. So really, that's what the point of this whole thing is. But something is telling me that you didn't click on this video to hear that. You clicked on this video to hear about what I think is a good deal or what I think is a bad deal. So let's go through that, and we'll start off with what a bad deal is. So what really is a bad deal when you're talking about certain things in physical media land? Well, you have to look at the standard price for stuff first. You have to look at the standard price for things like a DVD, a Blu-ray, or a 4K, and you have to look at what the MSRP on stuff like that is, because it really varies. It varies for boutique labels. So if you're looking at like a DVD, it's going to be like $15 or $20. If you're looking at a Blu-ray, it's going to be $20 or $25. And then if you're looking at a 4K that's a standard one, it's going to be $25 or $30. It's Hunter from the future here. I know I'm wearing the same shirt and everything, but you paid that much for those things in 2026? So yeah, movies are different. They're not the same when it comes to physical media in other forms or fashions. You're looking at something like Mass Effect here on the trilogy for the Xbox 360. This was $20. I know it's used. I said I wasn't going to be talking about used stuff, but for video games or new video games like Donkey Kong Bonanza here on Nintendo Switch 2, you're paying $70 for, 10 to 100 plus hours of gameplay, and you're paying, $50 or $60 for a new game elsewhere for the same amount of gameplay. And that doesn't really make sense, but Nintendo charges what they want to. But for something else like a movie, well, you're going to be paying $25 for a copy of Halloween that's 2 hours plus the bonus features that you're going to watch a couple times or whatever. And so that's kind of the value proposition that you're dealing with. And then, of course, if you're looking at something like books, like Joe Bob Goes to the Drive-In, I paid $55 for this book. And no one reads books anymore, and that's sad. $70 video games I'm fine with. It's a price increase, it's a jump that's kind of stupid, yes. PS2 games were $50, Xbox 360 and Xbox One games were $60 or $70, and now they're $70 or $80. I'm fine with it because, you're getting a lot of value out of video games. They're expensive to make, all that, yada, yada, yada. Go back to 1995, like Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo was $75 plus. They didn't have standardized pricing back then, but now $70 movies, on the other hand, if you're paying $70 for a movie, that seems a little bit insane. So what is a bad deal? What is a bad deal in video games or physical media or whatever else? Well, those remakes of old video games that are $70 now. So yeah, if Nintendo ever comes out with the Nintendo Switch 3 and decides they're going to remake Donkey Kong Bonanza and charge $135 for it, and they're not going to add anything other than a graphical update, yeah, sure, I would consider that to be a bad deal. Or something like The Last of Us that has 1 billion remakes. Just go play the first one on PS3. It's the same game. Buying Studio 4Ks right out of the box, I would say actually is a really good deal. Buying them and getting them as soon as they come out from the studio is a really, really, really good idea. I'm kind of thirsty. One sec. Let me go get a glass of water. Oh, is that on camera? Crap. Okay. But actually though, like buying the 4Ks of something like Halloween or whatever, you can wait on it. Really, you can, because unless you want the slipcover right away, well, guess what? I got the slipcover for Halloween, what is this, 2017, 2016, whatever the hell the year that this came out, in 2026, from a Blockbuster Video, with the slipcover. You don't need the slipcover right away. Something else that you can look at is when you're buying 4Ks of stuff that's coming out, like right here, the Universal Classic Monsters. This is a wonderful Blu-ray box set that The 4Ks don't look like this. They look like this packaging, of course. They're gray and they have all the black and white features, but they're individual volumes of these characters, and you can just get the Blu-ray for like way cheaper. You can get the Blu-ray box set here that comes with a booklet and all this beautiful artwork and literal decades of movies with special features included and everything. Now I know the 4Ks of these in particular look really, really nice, but if you're not chasing after that super 4K upgrade, you could just get the Blu-ray box set, and that would be a better deal than buying those individual on 4Ks. So another bad deal that I would consider in physical media land would be buying something that you know is going to get a reprint from another company, even though the one that's in your region is going to be limited or out of stock or out of print or whatever. Something like The Keep from Vinegar Syndrome, one of my favorite physical media releases of all time. By no means a bad physical media release, but this one, as soon as it got announced, people were saying, hey, this other company is going to be putting it out, so you don't need to just, freak out about buying this version when you can go get that other version and it'll be, a gigantic box or whatever it is, but you'll be able to get it. And so it's stuff like that with a limited artificial scarcity, yada, 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 that makes it so that this is a bad deal if you're spending up on it, because you'll be able to get it from somebody else right away and it won't be, $120. Like I mentioned with Back to the Future, another bad deal or another thing to look out for is when you're buying something and it's brand new, look and see if there's an anniversary coming up. And so, something like Back to the Future, where this is the 40th anniversary edition and this is the 35th anniversary edition. Both on 4K, both in nice looking boxes, whatever. The packaging is different between the two of them, but this one is the 40th anniversary, and if there's an anniversary coming up, they're going to do some new bonus features. They did some new bonus features for this one. There's a new documentary. There's new stories on Back to the Future that are apparently untold that, they didn't include on this one. Back to the Future is a weird one, though, because the Blu-ray, the old Blu-ray version, has the Back to the Future ride on it, and, well, I don't think these actually have that. Well, this one actually does right here. Wow. You learn something new every day. Finally, the worst deal I think I can imagine in physical media land is buying a very clear FOMO release, a very clear fear of missing out release when they're going to reprint it or they're going to make a new version that's better. So what do I mean by this? I mean something like the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set, very well talked about on this channel. I love this thing. But the standard edition is just as good. Literally just as good. Same exact stuff on disc content, and you didn't have to pay up for the scalper prices for this one. I know. People out there were disappointed when they said, oh, we're never reprinting this one. Well, guess what? They're reprinting this one. So paying out the ass for something that you know you want, if you can't get it right away, I know a lot of people missed out on that release, just wait, and you'll get it, and it'll be fine, and it'll be the same exact thing, and everyone will be happy. So we've been very negative here. We've talked about, a lot of bad physical media deals, but what about good physical media deals? What is something that's good? And so that's buying something new at the release that you love. And here's my copy of Excalibur that I haven't even opened yet because I haven't had time, but I bought this right away from Arrow Video because I love Excalibur. I love this movie. Nicol Williamson, his portrayal of Merlin is like the best wizard on film history. Gandalf is up there, but I think Nicol Williamson is amazing. But this release, I knew I would want this one. I knew I would want the box with all the Arrow Video stuff and the poster and the just mountain of special features and all the cool stuff that goes into a release like this that's for a movie that I love. If you love the movie that you want to get and it has that snazzy special edition or it's coming out on 4K, go buy it. Because honestly, it's your money. Who gives a crap how you spend it? It's my money. Who gives a crap how I spent it? I spent $50 on Excalibur and I haven't opened it yet, but I'm super happy with the release anyway. So, like I said, with buying a box set instead of single releases, a good deal is buying a box set instead of single releases. You can look at something like Saw right here with their 10 film collection on Blu-ray. Now, this is not a very pretty box set. It doesn't come with, the bells and whistles of other ones, but it was $30. That's the end of the point right there. It's $30 for 10 movies with special features, 20th anniversary, Blu-rays, DVDs, or whatever. It just comes in this really ugly-ass box with discs that might or might not be floating around in there with something that rattles around here. But yeah, other than that, it's a great release if you love the Saw movies, and can get this for way cheaper than you can get the individual releases for. The other big thing about whether it's a good deal or not is knowing when sales are going to happen. You need to know when a sale is going to happen, because you can get something like I had to replace my copy of Invasion USA from Vinegar Syndrome from my previous collection, and I got this new 4K copy that usually retails for about $40 or $50 with the slipcover, you know, the standard Vinegar Syndrome stuff. But because they had a sale, you know, Black Friday isn't the only sale that they have. They have a Valentine's Day sale, a halfway to Black Friday sale, an Arbor Day sale, a Labor Day sale, a 4th of July sale. Literally any holiday, a physical media company will have a sale for it. And they had this on sale for $20. And so getting it for half off with the slipcover and all of that, that's a great deal, especially because Invasion USA is a great movie. It's an awesome kick-ass Chuck Norris movie. So knowing when these places have stuff on sale is the key to getting a good deal. And I know, this next point, it's going to contradict myself. It's going to be a bit hypocritical. But sometimes, in physical media land, you need to be hypocritical. When you're looking at something that you know for a fact isn't going to get a 4K or a Blu-ray release from elsewhere, that hasn't been put out on 4K or Blu-ray before, like Trick or Treat here from Synapse Pictures and Red Shirt Media, this in that case was a very, very good deal, because it comes with a poster, it comes with a booklet, it comes with the 4K, it comes with the Blu-ray, it comes with a nice box, it comes with a J-card, it comes with, you know, awesome art all over it. And this wasn't going to get a random reprint from some Australian company that was going to drive the price down. This was only coming out from Synapse Pictures, or Synapse Films, whatever the hell you want to call them. That made this a good deal in my book, because one, I love this movie, it's awesome, and two, you knew it wasn't going to get a reprint anywhere else. And so it's really doing your research on stuff like that. And that is the most important thing I can tell you about knowing if it's a good deal or a bad deal or not, is doing your own research. And I know that might sound surprising to some of you, that, hey, looking it up online and making sure that this isn't going to get a reprint. It's not going to get, you know, something put out by the studio 2 months later. It's not going to get, you know, thrown into bargain bins like this Scarface 4K over here. Knowing some of the stuff, that kind of stuff ahead of time, or doing your research and doing a little bit of research. It's not even like doing a college paper here. It's just kind of knowing what's up is going to save you money in the long run. So to close this out, really, it's up to you. It's subjective. It really is a good or bad deal. It's up to you. If you get enjoyment out of something and you want to pay a bunch of money for a box set or a 4K release, a new 4K release as soon as it comes out, and you're going to watch it and love it, I'm not here to tell you that that's a bad deal. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, enjoy your collection, enjoy your movies. But really the most important thing is having future sight and seeing into the future and knowing that Sony will never reprint the Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection on 4K.